Today, students in several school districts across Texas began their STAAR test.
Last week, we told you about parents choosing to opt out, simply not letting their children take the exam.
Now some teachers are so fed up with standardized testing, they're quitting their jobs. We've learned 3 teachers in the Austin ISD already resigned this school year.
KXAN's Dawn Denny sat down with one of those teachers.
When I first got here in 2009, it wasn't this bad at my school.
After working as a teacher for almost 20 years, 4.5 at Akins High School, Teresa Roberson resigned Friday from AISD.
I'm happy that I resigned at the time that I did, because a lot of my colleagues asked, why didn't you wait to the end of the school year? I didn't want to go through standardized testing hell again.
When she started at Akins, Teresa said creativity was welcomed. She wrote her own lesson plans and used real-life examples for teaching. But Teresa says with the introduction of STAAR, that quickly changed.
If you don't do as they tell you to do, then nothing that you do in your classroom is going to be right. You always get these negative evaluations.
Teresa believes the pressure of STAAR and other standardized tests have turned teaching into an assembly line.
If I'm forced, and every year it became a forcing of, here's the lesson that you're going to teach.
STAAR results are currently part of a teacher's evaluations in most school districts in Texas, but the TEA says it's only one part of 51 areas considered.
When they look at the numbers, when they look at the percentages, they're not looking at the individual student. As a teacher, I have to look at the individual.
Teresa says she's leaving the AISD system, but not the teaching profession. Dawn Denny, KXAN News.
We continue to get reports of parents opting their students out of taking the STAAR test. The letter circulating on the topic has now been downloaded more than 200,000 times.
Digging deeper, unlike previous state tests, the STAAR is timed, and parents say that puts too much pressure on their kids.
The movement to opt out is made up of regional groups in several states. Now those groups are connecting to form a national organization. Over the weekend, United Opt Out held a Spring into Action conference in Denver. That group also posts specific opt-out information for every state. Just today, parents protested against the so-called sit and stare policy near Buffalo, New York. Parents can refuse to let their children take standardized tests, but the child must show up and sit through those exams doing nothing. The students aren't even allowed to read. The demonstrators believe that policy punishes the children and bullies them into taking the tests.
Later this month, lawmakers on the Texas Senate Education Committee will look into more changes to the STAAR test. They will also look at the implementation of House Bill number 5, which decreased the number of tests needed to graduate from 15 down to 5.